Today we're popping champagne to celebrate some major milestones. Hello and welcome to another installment of Behind the Glass with the Glass. Today's is a very special episode because we're celebrating three, count them, three anniversaries. Two of them have to do with this channel, which I'll get to, but the first is quite possibly the more important one, and that is my 5-year wedding anniversary with my wife. Hi, wife. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
As we record this, it's our 5-year wedding anniversary. We've been together for much longer than that, though. 13?
13 years in June.
13 years.
Yeah.
So she's thoroughly sick of me. But your name?
Shelby Carver.
I knew it had a B in it. I don't call you Shelby ever, do I?
No.
I call you PPS.
Yes.
Because she is Papa Shelby.
Which is ridiculous because...
No, it's not. So Shelby is here so that I can finally share her with the YouTube world.
So everyone can see more than the back of my head.
That's right. The back of your head has been in a few of my videos. We'll get to questions for you in a second, but I want to share with you the first one, shared by Pablo, which is, are you real? So evidently it's kind of known that my wife is not featured in my videos all that often, but here she is.
I could be AI.
Could be. You may be down the road. Shelby is here also to share with you what we're going to be drinking today. Seeing as how we're celebrating 3 anniversaries, we thought it was fitting to open up something special. And Shelby, would you be so kind as to tell everyone what we're going to be drinking today?
This is what Nick likes to call Pol Roger, but it's actually a Pol Roger. It is a champagne, a proper champagne from France. It is a brut, which means dry. Extra brut is the driest level of champagne brut. It's the second driest. Extra brut is my personal favorite, but I think that a brut here is more along old Nick's taste preference.
How would you describe brut for an idiot like me who doesn't know what that word means?
Technically, if I recall correctly, brut is 12 grams or less of sugar added during the second fermentation process of champagne making. That's about it.
This is why Shelby's here. So brut is less sweet feeling tasting?
Yes, second
Okay.
driest level of any champagne
All
or
right.
sparkling wine.
Well, there you go. Yeah. So I'm not into super sweet champagnes and wines, and a brut champagne should suit my palate well. And you also like bruts?
I do.
Okay.
And apparently this is Queen Elizabeth approved, according to this small seal.
2 thumbs up from Queen Elizabeth. Wait, is she the one?
R.I.P.
Oh, she's the one that died.
Yeah.
Okay. She still approves it, though. All right, now, as much as Shelby has tried to teach me about wine, I have a defective brain, so I never remember anything.
You do fine.
But one thing I do remember, thank you, but one thing I do remember is she taught me the proper way to open champagne. I'm a guy, and like all guys, I kind of just want to go, pah, over the backyard fence, but
And waste an entire glass?
it's apparently uncouth, and it wastes wine, or wastes champagne. So the proper way to do it, if I'm correct, keep your thumb on the top when you undo the cage, because it could explode. Also, don't point it directly at your face when you're doing this part.
Or someone else's face.
Or someone else's face. Yes. I'm so good at this.
Some people leave the cage on, but it hurts my hand really bad. I do not.
Yeah, I don't think I can do that. And then so rather than pop it off in a fountain of glory, you hold the top, right? Your hand like this, rotate the bottom.
Yep, rotate the bottom.
And you're trying to get the quietest church fart you can manage.
And you kind
I'm
of
twisting so slow.
and jiggle the
And
cork
jiggle
a little bit to kind of release some air. Nice.
Boom.
Well done.
No one even would have turned around if you let that one out. Here you go.
Thank you.
Got to get yourself some classy coupe glasses if you're going to do this right. And let me make sure I'm pouring this correctly. Label out.
Well, never mind.
No, go ahead.
Label facing the person who ordered the wine or who you are serving technically. Thank you.
Notice my form.
Everyone's going to think I'm a snob.
How nice my form is. You're not a snob, you're just cultured.
Thank you. You didn't smell the cork to make sure it wasn't corked.
Oh, dang you, I forgot something. Yeah, if you smell this and it smells like feet, it's corked, which means...
Oxygen, bacteria got into the cork, into the wine. It makes it no good.
Yeah. So
It smells like a Splash Mountain water
Yes.
at Disneyland.
So, happy anniversary.
Cheers.
Thank you for doing this with me.
You're very welcome.
I mean marriage.
You're very welcome.
Okay. So, I just want to quickly cover what other anniversaries we're celebrating here, and then I have a whole bunch of questions for PPS here that viewers submitted. A couple days ago on Instagram, I asked people to submit questions for my wife, and how many do you think we got? How many people asked a question?
I assumed it'd be like 5 and that they might be kind of inappropriate.
184.
Jesus.
And not one of them was inappropriate, but I did get a lot of, oh, you're brave, buddy. So, luckily everyone kept their manners in check. So we'll get to those questions in just a sec. But the other two things we're celebrating. So on May 30th of this year will be my 6-year anniversary of doing Behind the Glass with the Glass.
Which is crazy, because I remember when you came up with the concept and it felt like it was, I don't know, 2 years ago?
Yeah. Yep. 6 years. I was looking through the playlist. I was looking through the old one. I was just looking at the thumbnails, trying to get an idea of how often I do them. Every single shirt I was wearing, I still have. And I still wear.
That's sustainable. It's good.
Exactly. It's sustainable, which we're going to talk about. Shelby's passionate about that. So 6 years of Behind the Glass with the Glass. So cheers to that. Thanks for anyone who supported me on this from the beginning, because some people didn't. First few I did. Some people called me a
Raging alcoholic?
raging alcoholic who's slurring his words. So I said "feh" to them, and I kept going. So hope you guys just still like it, and it's not getting stale. And then the final anniversary that we're celebrating today is a decade of YouTubing.
I remember when you had that idea too.
Been doing this for 10 years. I'm a YouTube elder. I'm an old YouTuber with hardly any wisdom to share.
It's you and the dancing baby.
Oh man, we are elder millennials. A lot of people are gonna have to look up the dancing baby. So I'll tell you what happened when I was looking at this 10-year anniversary coming up, and on YouTube, it'll show 7 days ago, 2 weeks ago, 1 month ago, 2 months ago, and then it goes all the way through. I went to oldest 10 years ago. That video was what is ISO and what does ISO mean? But it said 10 years ago. But then when you click on the video, if you click more, it shows the exact date it was posted. So I'm just going to do a real quick reenactment of how that went for me. Oldest. What is ISO? What does ISO mean? More. 11 years ago. May 20th, 2013. So I completely blew past the 10-year anniversary last year. But you know what? F it. 11 years of YouTubing. Sounds even worse. I've been doing this longer than a decade.
And that video probably wasn't that good, so.
So that video, what is ISO and what does ISO mean? If you go and watch that, which I don't recommend it, very different tone, very different cadence. It's finding my legs under me. But look at me.
I remember that.
It's amazing you married me. Do you know what I see when I look at this? A baby owl.
I do.
You know what I'm talking about? So if you ever see a picture of a baby owl, you see it and it's kind of like, oh, but there's like the makings of what's going to be an owl. And so you kind of think like, oh, yeah, one day it'll be majestic, but right now it's a little upsetting.
You look like you're in a ska band.
Break out the trumpets, folks. Yeah, I hadn't really discovered. I was dancing around my style, I think.
I know.
Like, I just needed more denim, less ties for some reason, less vests, and a wider brim on my hat.
It takes time. I used to wear belly flats.
What are belly flats?
Those really unflattering round toe flat shoes that smell horrible after you wear them once.
Oh, really? What an idiot.
Yeah, yeah.
We evolve, we change. Unfortunately, mine is immortalized on YouTube. So anyone can go back and look at that monstrosity. So, yeah, I think I've come a long way. And I'm going to talk a little bit about my journey over YouTube in a little while. But first, I want to hear from my blushing bride.
Which he did not disclose what these questions are going to be ahead of time, so
Yeah,
I won't lie.
didn't share
I'm
them with
a little scared.
So, the first question I have for you is actually, it's actually from me. What is your favorite thing about me?
Jesus.
Okay, don't answer. Okay, no, but for real. So real questions from viewers. So thank you to anyone who submitted questions. It's fun to sift through those. I obviously couldn't get through all 184, but I tried to pick ones that would be a good cross section of what you guys were asking.
But thanks, guys, thanks for caring about me. Thanks.
Oh. Okay, first question. And there were several variations on this, so I'll give you a couple variations. But CR Moon asks, while Nick is off on one of his escapades, what work/hobbies do you like to fill your time with? A couple variations just to get you thinking more. What do you do when Nick goes on his solo photo trips? That's from Rivalo. What do you do when Nick packs 5 bags and buggers off for days to photograph a cactus? That's from John Castiel. So what do you like to do?
Well, to be honest, when you're gone, it's kind of my time to do the stuff that I want to do when you're around, but am too insecure to do. So like watch the crappy TV shows I want to watch and play hours and hours of Red Dead.
She's an elite gamer.
I'm not an elite gamer. I'm good at a few games.
Excuse me, elite. I think 733T.
I mean, I'm almost level 400 on Red Dead, but you know.
I don't know what that means,
Just
but
saying.
It sounds good.
Listen to every fashion podcast out there. Watch every fashion documentary out there. Read BOF, which is a business of fashion. It's like an online news outlet. Love them. This is getting very repetitive.
Mine would be only photography and fixing the house. So why don't you do these as much when I'm around?
I don't know. I feel when I'm around, I respect what you want to do as well. And I don't want to bogart TV time or your time. You're busy and you work insanely long hours. So I want you to be able to do, what you want to do.
Yeah, I guess I do the same with you. I don't put on There Will Be Blood every single day because you're around.
I do like that movie though.
Okay, good. That's why I married you. Kind of a variation on that. Do you get nervous when he disappears to the desert for days? Colin Spencer asked that.
Yes and no. I worry about your safety. Luckily, you are usually pretty good about going places where you still have a cell signal and we can communicate. But I do worry about some rando like murdering you in the desert.
Do you worry more about that or like breaking a leg or getting a kidney stone out in the middle of the desert?
I don't worry about those things because apparently I just think of the worst, which is you're murdered.
Just murderers, okay.
I get a little nervous being home alone, but luckily I have Wyatt, and he's my little guard dog.
And good neighbors.
Yeah, and good neighbors that if they heard me screaming, they would probably come and help.
You scream long enough, they might.
Like, shout out to Jacob, although he didn't come help me when the skunk thing happened.
Yeah, okay.
So.
Our dog got skunked recently when Shelby took him out to pee.
Yeah.
It was chaotic.
It wasn't my finest moment.
Nor Wyatt's. Several asked, are you digging the mustache as much as everyone on YouTube?
Okay, everybody says it's a mustache, but for me, I just thought you shortened your beard. You didn't grow a mustache, you just shortened your beard.
I kept this long, though.
Yeah, but it's not like it's just a mustache. My dad has just a mustache.
Well, what are your thoughts on mustaches in general? Because everyone assumes, myself included, that there isn't a lady alive that likes a mustache.
I don't know. I like a good mustache.
All right.
You could do probably a little Clark Gable, and I would still like it. But that's because
Coming
I
up
love
on
you.
YouTube. Okay, thank you. So you like me no matter how I looked.
Yes.
Even if I have a stupid little Clark Gable mustache. Does she also have hobbies or interests like her husband with film photography? And what is your biggest passion in life? That's kind of a variation on it from Matt N.
Well, I worked in the fashion industry for a long time. Went to school for it, so that's very much my passion, but it's not like fashion, clothes, shoes, stuff like that. It's the industry, how it works, the business behind it. And my main focus is on sustainability, trying to educate people on being smarter with what you buy, being more aware of what you buy, being aware of where your dollars are going. When you're buying something that's $5 from Amazon or Shein, someone is making that, and it's not ethical.
Someone's making that, and a bunch of people are taking profit out of that. So by the time it gets back to the person that made it, it's pennies.
Yeah. I mean, billions of articles of clothing are discarded a year. Billions. It's insane, yet people can't stop shopping, and they can't stop shopping cheap. So I really like to educate people on that and try to make them more aware and to shop smarter.
And you've looked at, people think donating clothes to Goodwill or Salvation Army or something like that washes them of all the guilt of throwing out all these clothes, but what happens with that?
I don't remember the exact number, but I think only about 20% of what people donate to Goodwill actually gets rehomed. Most of it just ends up in the garbage. There are some companies that take certain donated items, typically cottons, and they will repurpose them into shop rags, but even then, those have an end of life. You can't use those indefinitely, and those end up in a landfill too.
There you go. What was that documentary we watched recently about the company that...
Oh, Brandy Hellville.
Brandy Hellville. They went and looked... Do you remember what country it was?
I think it was Ghana.
Yeah, it was Ghana or something, but it's where a lot of our clothes go when we're done with them or they're surplus or whatever. And man, they had some footage in there that will make your eyes water, just like their beaches are just mounds of clothes. It sounds fake when I describe it, but if you see the pictures, it's unreal. And she said they've dug 8 feet down and it's all clothes.
Yeah.
It's insane. It made me really want to go there to take pictures of that. I think that'd be a freaking cool photo project. But yeah, it's kind of heartbreaking to see what happens with our endless hunger for cheap clothes. Now that we've thoroughly brought the mood down, here's another question from I Am Svensson. How is living with an autistic person? He followed it up with, sorry, autocorrect, I meant artistic. It wasn't autocorrect, but yeah, on those lines, a lot of people ask this. How do you put up with my obsession with perfection / OCD?
I think my personality is just a good fit for your personality. I'm very patient, and I think that's because I've been riding horses and dealing with horses for a long time, which teaches you... Why are you laughing?
No, it's just all coming together.
You learn to be patient and to not let your emotions overwhelm you. Otherwise, the animal could harm you. Not that I'm saying you're an animal that's going to harm me.
Often in the house, she'll say, careful, don't spook. He senses your emotion. Don't use spurs. He doesn't like that. Is my obsession with details frustrating? Like on every house project, making sure this one thing no one's going to see is perfect.
I don't think so, because I'm kind of that way, but with my own stuff.
Kind of on that line of questioning, O'Neill on Film asked, what advice did you give Nick on the extended play that kept him going out there?
I think it was something along the lines of, you expected everything to go perfect immediately, but you had just driven, 8 hours? 10 hours? Like, you just got there, you just started, and you were freaking out that everything wasn't working out the way you wanted. And I think I was telling you, like, you've been there for 4 hours, not 4 days. So, yeah, so you just need to relax.
Calm the F down.
and rest. And start fresh tomorrow, because everything seems worse when you're tired and hungry and been sitting in a car for 8 hours.
Yes. That is one thing I'm not good at, is if it's not going good right now, I can't picture it going good tomorrow.
Ever.
What's that?
Ever.
Or ever. Or the day after. I don't know if that's living in the moment. Maybe that's super zen, actually. Like, however it's going right now, I'm so in the moment, I can't even picture it going any other way.
Maybe. So
Doesn't seem very zen or healthy, but...
a positive spin to put on it.
A lot of people asked, they want to know what your favorite photo of mine is. This is very indulgent, but if you have a favorite photo of mine, people would like to know. By the way, just to give you an insight of what our relationship's like, I've never once asked that or wondered. But please.
Probably the Joshua tree photo that is no longer hanging above our couch.
Joshua trees and fog.
Yeah, I do love that one. It's very peaceful and moody. And then, of course, all the little miscellaneous photos you take of Wyatt.
Yes, pictures of the dog. Where did I put that?
Where'd you put what?
You mean like this, precious boy?
Yes. But it's different for me because that's stuff from our lives. So I will emotionally, I think, feel differently about stuff that, is...
That actually, okay, that brings up a question I have in mind that actually several people asked something along these lines, but I didn't include it for some reason. A lot of people asked, do you get annoyed at how many pictures I take on a daily basis? I didn't include that question because I never take pictures on a daily basis.
Yeah.
You're basically never around when I take pictures. Does it bother you that I don't take more pictures of our life?
Not really, because I'm kind of that same way too. In an era of everybody documenting everything on Instagram, we go on vacation and I will take one photo, typically of like a cocktail. And I like to be kind of in the moment and not fixated on trying to capture the moments. I just want to be in the moment. So it doesn't bother me. I mean, sometimes I look back and wish like, oh, I probably should have taken some more on that trip because we can't undo it.
Yeah, we do a lot of that.
Yeah, but it doesn't bother me.
Good.
But we should probably try harder.
I've been trying for years. I'm not going to take more pictures of our life. I'm just not good, and that's not my thing. But I'll try.
Thanks.
Let's see. Freerider Pictures asks, aperitif, cheese board and charcuterie, or veggies and crackers with hummus?
Oh, the latter. Veggies.
Veggies and crackers with hummus?
Yes.
Okay.
I love chickpeas.
Yeah, good like sampling of different hummuses. Yeah. A lot of people asked, do you like his hats? Be honest.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I like a good hat. And those are good hats. I mean, they're custom made. The guy that makes them takes a lot of pride in it, so.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
What's your favorite cocktail? What's your favorite thing to drink behind the glass?
Hendrick's Gin Martini, up with a twist.
Yeah, she's classy. Can't keep up. So I kind of know the answer to this question. Is he really like that in real life?
Yes, and well, with people...
You can talk about my YouTube persona, that's fine.
You do have a little bit of a YouTube persona, but that's like also the you I know. With strangers, Nick is much more reserved and quiet, although you've gotten more extroverted over the years, I would say. Mm-hmm. But until he's like really comfortable with someone, I should stop going back and forth between first and third person. I just learned how to speak, okay.
This is the first time on YouTube. She's learning it.
Until you are comfortable with someone, you can be a little, not standoffish, but kind of reserved and stay to yourself. But once you're comfortable, you're much more extroverted and joking, and your YouTube persona comes out.
You know what I hear? I'm comfortable with all these fine
I
folks.
was just going to say that.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
It's all right.
It's all right.
Rob,
It's all right.
Yeah, on that, does Nick ever use his YouTube voice unironically in real life? Don't. You know.
No.
Any advice for a wife of a photographer you wish someone would have told you?
I mean, sometimes you're alone. I mean, not a lot, but you do work kind of weird hours and you work following the sun. So in the summertime, you're working late and it's not always a normal 9 to 5 type job. But I personally can't stand that kind of job myself, so I don't resent it or it doesn't bother me.
That's interesting.
But
yeah, that's good advice.
Yeah, but that's probably it. It's not going to be, if you want to have the 9 to 5 clock in and out and go to Chili's for dinner at 5:30, like that's not probably going to work out.
Yeah, just last week I was shooting a shitty medical building for a client up in Yucca Valley. It's a 2-hour drive.
Yeah.
Sunset is at 7:45. I'm taking my last picture at 8:15, and I got to wait around, or like 8:20. And then I'm waiting around for the on-site contact to come back and lock up the building, so I didn't get home till probably 10:30.
Yeah. But
That's how it is.
yeah.
All right, last question, then I'll release you. And this comes from Cray, my videographer from Spain.
Hi, Craig.
Everybody loves Cray.
Yeah.
One's got to go, Nick or Wyatt, and why?
Oh man.
Wyatt can't pay the mortgage.
I know. And
But
Wyatt,
he is a precious boy.
I know. Probably Wyatt.
Yeah, good note to go out on. All right. Let's get you some more champagne.
I'm gonna go.
And then I'll release
I'm gonna
it.
go hug Wyatt now.
Yes. Go,
And tell him that-
play with our boy.
And tell him that I'm just kidding, and it would definitely be you that gets the boot.
I'm going to talk a little more. I got some more things to say to you guys. But I am going to release you, PPS. Get the microphone off you. Thanks for sitting with us.
You're welcome.
Thanks for introducing yourself to everybody. Now everyone knows that you're not fake. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
See you at dinner. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I love my wife, in case that wasn't clear. Okay, so just a couple more things I want to leave with you. This may be getting real long, I don't know. But first off, photo I want to share with you, and then I want to talk about kind of the state of the YouTube channel. So I'm in Southern California here, and we are south of Vandenberg Space Force Base. That's a real thing, a Space Force base. It is this many miles north of us, but SpaceX launches a lot of rockets out of there, particularly to put up their Neuralink. Is it Neuralink? Whatever it's called. They're satellites that bring the internet to the world. About a month ago or a month and a half, something like that, they were launching at the perfect time so that we could see them from way down here, and the contrail, the jet trail behind it was just illuminated like Christmas lights because the sun had just set and it was illuminating it from behind, and it was really cool. It happened a couple nights in a row, and the first night I didn't know it was happening. I just happened to be outside bringing the trash cans in, and I saw the rocket going up. I got some footage on my iPhone, nothing major though. I actually ended up putting my iPhone away because I had such a surreal moment watching this and a deep appreciation of what was happening that I didn't want to be looking at my phone screen. I just wanted to enjoy it. So I just watched it because it's so surreal to watch a rocket about to send the internet to space over my 100-year-old house. It was one of those moments where you feel like you are just this small, tiny little player in this massive story around you. Is such a cool feeling, a feeling I actually really like. You get that feeling too when you're like walking through a forest of sequoia trees or something, you know, and it's massive trees, and they're way older than you, and they've been around forever, and you kind of feel like, oh man, I'm so insignificant. So I had that moment. But I got this shot of the contrail, the exhaust trail, whatever you'd call it, over our house. And this picture may seem like an odd style coming from me. This isn't my normal style that I share with you guys. This is the style that I use when I'm photographing for clients. And I used my Canon SLR camera with my tilt shift lens to take this picture just like I would an architectural shot. So it's processed and it looks just like my kind of high contrast, high saturation client work. So I know it's kind of a weird style to see from me and maybe not super exciting because of that. But I was really happy to get this shot because it kind of cemented that fascinating, surreal moment of a rocket trail over my 100-year-old house. And I have these moments sometimes where I can almost picture like a sped up time-lapse video of a thing or where I'm standing, you know, and you can almost like picture like the house going up, the tree growing, and like old cars parking in front, they leave, newer cars come up, and like it's kind of moving through time. And eventually it gets to this one where I am, and there's a rocket flying up over the house. So cool. So I don't know why I wanted to share that with you other than I just think it was really freaking awesome. And if you're in a place where you could potentially see rocket launches, I highly recommend it. It's really humbling to see and to kind of appreciate what mankind can do. You know, we're sending things to space. That blows my mind that there's people that smart to figure out how to explode a bunch of fuel to get this thing up exactly where they want it to go and then leave it in orbit. It's fascinating. All right, now one more thing I want to talk to you about, and I'm going to try and make this fast because I'm starting to sweat like a pig here. I just want to give you kind of a state of the YouTube channel and tell you a little bit about what you can expect going forward. So I know that it's not healthy and it's not the right thing to pay attention to view counts. And the advice I would give anybody is like, oh, don't worry about view counts. Just make videos you're passionate about. And that's what everybody says, and everyone knows that's true. But it's really hard not to look at view counts. I gotta be honest. And lately, my videos have been kind of stagnant on view counts. And a couple videos I put out didn't do nearly as well as I hoped they would, and they didn't get as many views as my videos used to. Part of it could be a saturated market. There's a lot of YouTubers now. There weren't 11 years ago. That could be part of it, but I think I was getting a little hung up on view counts, you know, fixated on it and kind of like, well, what am I doing wrong in my videos? I gotta do things different. I really need to throw the baby out with the bathwater, start fresh, and completely change how I YouTube. And that was rough for like a couple weeks. I was really trying to figure out like, okay, I gotta do everything different. But I've kind of come out of it to where I think I need a gentle evolution on my videos. I don't want them to change completely. I pretty much like everything I've done. I'm proud of most of the videos I've made. And that's what people came to me for, so I want to keep delivering that. But one of the big things I decided from this whole shakeup is that I feel like my YouTube channel has become too much about me and not enough about the stuff around me, the ecosystem around me, the people in my life. That's a lot of the reason I brought Shelby on today. I wanted to finally kind of open up the rest of my life to YouTube. And I think going forward, I want to try and make these videos about more than just me, you know? Other artists that I'm friends with, other photographers, you know, historical things I've researched, things about, well, not me. And the big thing that kind of turned me on this was the Spain videos that I did. I'm very proud of those. I think they're some of the best videos I've made. But I kind of developed this regret of not including the team around me more. You know, I had this awesome Spanish driver, Orencio. He's a character. He was funny. He was super knowledgeable on Spain. And he's like barely in the videos. My videographer, Cray, amazing guy, also a great photographer, shooting film out there with me, and I didn't include him at all. And that's a big regret for me. I wish I had included them in the video as much as it was about me. But the reason my videos have all been about me, by the way, is because I'm a raging narcissist, obviously. No, I shoot buildings, landscapes, large format. I shoot alone. I never shoot with people. So if I go out to make a video, it kind of can't be about anybody but me because I'm the only one there. And the only thoughts I have to share with you are my own. So it's kind of become about me. But I don't like that. I want it to be more about greater things, bigger things, the environment around me and the people around me. So you may see videos coming out where I'm trying to do that. It may take me a while to get my sea legs and try and figure out how to do that well. So I appreciate you being patient with me as I try and figure out this evolution. My promise to you is that I'm not going to change the fundamental core of what I'm doing. If you like what I'm doing, it's going to be still a lot of that. I'm just trying to add more stuff to it that I think will be interesting. You know, I understand that my channel has a somewhat narrow appeal, and that's partly given me some comfort on my views maybe not being what I hope they are. But, you know, I'm shooting with kind of funky cameras that not everybody's into. Large format, 6x17. I'm shooting subject matter that's maybe not as popular. What I'm doing may have a narrower appeal, and I've kind of made peace with that. That's okay. But I'm not going to use that as an excuse for not evolving my channel. So I'm going to try and continue making the videos better. You know, 11 years into this, I'm as passionate as ever as making videos that I love and that I'm passionate about. But above all else, I want to make videos that are valuable to the community. The film photography community is absolutely amazing. I love it so much. I feel so connected to it. And I want to give something to the community that's valuable because the community has given so much to me. So I'm going to put out educational videos whenever I can. I'm going to continue sharing my knowledge as much as I can. And I'm going to try and continue to make entertaining videos and try and make them better and better each time I put them out. So I don't know why you need to know that or why I'm telling you. I guess I just hope that you'll be patient with me as I try to evolve, because I may make some missteps and maybe this video isn't that great. Maybe I'll be on the right track sometimes. I'll try and get feedback from people when I feel that's appropriate, but you know, stick with me, I hope. Is kind of what I'm asking. By the way, this little camera back here, this reason it's been sitting back here this whole time. I got this little Sony vlogger camera, the ZV-1, so that I can try and broaden my horizons on YouTube videos. So I don't have to lug a big huge camera around like I'm talking to right now. I'm hoping I'll be able to evolve my style a little bit with the videos, bringing a little handy dandy camera with me. And yeah, I guess all this is just to say after 11 years, thanks for sticking with me. Thanks for watching. And I hope I can continue to bring you something of value for 11 years more. And 11 after that, and 11 after that, and 11 after that. That may have put me well past 100. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to let you go now because I've been rambling too long. But pop yourself some champagne now and then. It's a treat. But, you know, when it's a special occasion, you got to treat yourself. So, at any rate, thanks for watching. I hope you know how much I appreciate you. And cheers.